Open book.
Open book.
Good. All right, man. So for the people that are watching, welcome to another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network. We have with us Marx Max Muscle. He's a bodybuilding journalist online. Well, you want to introduce yourself and tell the fans who you are and what you do?
I am simply a vessel for my channel. My channel has since became a lot larger than I am as a person. So I have to understand that I am simply a vessel and a voice for bodybuilding, like yourself.
Right. That's
Same
so
thing.
cool. I remember when you had, when you were first blowing up and you had 12,000 subscribers, and I was like, holy crap, like that's a lot. And then now are you at 40,000 yet? Or are you still in the 30s?
20.
20. Oh, okay. I thought I saw 32 and I was like, wow, that's
It'll get there.
It will, honestly. People love like how you break down your videos and the fun energy you put into it, your mannerisms. It's a lot of fun to listen to, even from like a fellow journalist. Like I enjoy watching your videos, so that speaks volumes.
Well, that just goes to show you what people that are in your life find very annoying and repetitive, like such as a Steve Urkel, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
If that was an actual person, nobody would want that guy around.
No.
And everybody, all my personal friends, family, they don't want to hear my accents. They don't want to hear my voices anymore. They don't want to hear about bodybuilding. So, but this is how I make a living.
Right. That's actually, yeah, we'll talk about that. But like once a day, twice a day, like that's a perfect amount of your pizzazz for people to consume. I'm sure I don't think I could ever get to the point where I'm at your family's level where they don't want to hear you talk about stuff, because, well, now that I think about it, I do get on tangents. So maybe my parents get annoyed. Maybe my wife gets annoyed a little bit. I don't know.
He doesn't tell me, unless I personally show perhaps my wife or something like that, something that I found funny on one of my videos. Nobody that I am personally related to or friends, anything like that, would ever watch any of my videos.
Do they know that you do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's maybe at first, when I first started, one or two videos. Oh, I watched all your videos. And then how do you keep up, right?
Right.
How do you keep up?
Well, yeah. I mean, the mass volume that you put out, you
have to be
impressive.
Really into the bodybuilding. And I do such an array of bodybuilders that you're not going to get a whole lot of repeat people watching all the videos. You'll get, say, Phil Hernan, he just passed away, and I've done videos on him, and if you're looking for him, you can find a video of him on there. So
wow.
And what a fantastic physique he had.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him, but I'm trying to
incredible.
Way ahead of his time. He won the USAs in the late 90s.
Yes, but I believe he made a comeback, or he was good in the early 90s, and then he made a comeback, I believe. But his placing slipped. It was a different era, I do believe. Don't quote me on that one, but I believe he stayed pretty good, but the era changed.
Right. Yeah, like the early 90s, it was more mass. And then I even into the early 2000s, it was still pretty much the mass monsters, and then once Jay started taking the helm, Jay was still a pretty big mass monster once he started competing with Ronnie.
Jay was massive.
Yeah.
People forget how massive he was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that massive, but
right.
I wanted to be big to beat Ronnie. That's your first impression.
That's funny.
Jay Cutler.
That's pretty spot on. I could hear it. I could hear just a little bit in the background. I'm like, I know what you're doing here.
Yeah.
That's funny. Man, I'm gonna have to binge even more of your content now. I don't remember you doing impersonations.
I do maybe 4, maybe 5 Olympia champions.
Oh man. Okay, I'll have to find those.
The Sean Roden, of course.
Oh yeah. Sean Roden is.
I have no idea how that became popular, but they love it. I can show you a video. You can see the spike where people watch it, where I say, build. They must, you know, I don't know.
Huh. That's interesting. That's kind of cool that the analytics tell you that. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. You're the voice and the what did you say, like the conduit?
Conduit, vessel.
Vessel. You're the vessel for bodybuilding. How did you get into doing what you do now, like making all this content for people?
Well, one of my first memories, and this is the God's truth. Mm-hmm. I remember watching Pumping Iron. Mm-hmm. They must have showed it. It would have been mid 80s. So maybe a 10-year anniversary for what it was. They showed it on TV, whatever it was.
Wow.
And my memory is screwed up a bit because I remember knowing who Lou Ferrigno was after that. It was because the Hulk, right?
Right.
And Arnold and Franco knew who they all were because actually we had a bodybuilding book.
Yes.
But in my memory, I have Arnold and Lou and Franco all up on the same stage. So it must have been Serge Nubret in my memory. But I do remember Lou, Franco, and Arnold.
Wow.
And then I got into wrestling instead because they didn't show bodybuilding. That was basically all I ever seen on bodybuilding up until say the mid 90s when I got back into it. And Dorian Yates was kind of fading out of it. I got back into it. And then when the internet came, I got the internet, obviously, just
wow.
the history of it. And I just absorbed it like a sponge. I wanted to just forget about wrestling. Why did I do wrestling? And then should have, you know, not that I had the genetics to do bodybuilding, but obviously I would have been more built. But I can't overlook what I did with wrestling. Obviously, I met my wife in the wrestling ring. So
wow,
yeah.
So you were getting into Why did you get into bodybuilding? You saw that the Pumping Iron, and then
always loved it. Yeah, always loved it. Always loved it. Okay. But even in through wrestling, I've wrestled a few bodybuilders, guys that competed bodybuilding. And a lot of guys that were just on juice and had pretty impressive physiques. And myself, I worked a labor job, right? 60 hours a week. Yeah. And I'm an ectomorph as is. So for me to lift weights or exercise after working all day, not that anybody would have the energy to anyway.
Yeah, for real. Unless you're slamming some like crazy stems or something. But back in the day, I mean, that probably wasn't even a common thing. Like, I have no idea, like supplementation in the 80s and 90s.
Well, I remember creatine hitting the scene, and I was myself. I didn't have the dieting down, nothing. I just fooled around with some weights, right? So I didn't partake, but obviously I do all the supplements now. Creatine.
Okay.
Things of that nature.
Yeah, I need to get more consistent with creatine. I know it's like 3-5 grams a day, and then beyond that, like I always got lazy about it.
Yeah, I found it did. I thought it irritated my stomach.
Oh, okay.
And I heard that before, and they just quit taking it. But you get back on the horse, you ride the horse, right? I think it's more of a mental thing, to be honest with you. And I don't want to argue with anybody that says that they get upset stomach, because I felt it too, but maybe more of a mental thing. I don't know.
For creatine?
Yeah, I swear by it now. I swear by it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's supposed to like volumize the cells and increase your like ATP production or something.
I find I get clearer skin from it. And
wow.
Yeah. Maybe because I'm older. I don't know. But I remember kids back when I was a kid taking a bunch of supplements and a lot of acne, like body acne and things of that nature from it. Maybe when you're too young.
Oh yeah, that could have been a thing. Because I just lifted recreationally, like with football and wrestling and track and stuff. But like I didn't even know bodybuilding until I guess a little bit backstory on me, because I've never done like an intro on my channel yet. I got into bodybuilding through like a really bad breakup. And then one of my buddies kind of like brought me back into the world of the living to just start training. And then
you were not aware of sport, bodybuilding?
No, I didn't know anything about bodybuilding
that's
until I think 2017.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now you're staunch bodybuilding.
Now I'm staunch bodybuilding. Yeah. Yeah. I started training. I think in like 20.
And you seem to have a real passion for it, like the posing.
I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's something crazy. I can resound with, or I can like find refuge in. I love the athletes. I love talking to you guys, like you, and like especially when we start getting into like the IFBB guys. It's just so much. Man, I don't want to go too deep, but like it's so much like free mentorship, because like I'm 27, I'm still kind of figuring things out. I'm in the military, so like I work on computers all day, but like me as a man and like me as who I want to be when I retire, like it's just like fine tuning. Every time I talk to somebody, I can just pick some stuff out. If you watch the Charles Curtis video I just did with him, the interview,
I never did watch it. I was going to click over and watch it, but
man, that's a powerful interview. Like he goes just deep, like philosophy and mentorship, and like where to consume your energy, and being conscious of like the energy you're putting out. And oh my gosh, like I left that interview deep in thought.
He just competed, did he not?
Yeah. Fifth in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah. So really impressive. He blew me away in Tampa, where he placed 8th, and then came into Texas in the 212.
212, right?
212. Yeah.
212. Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but I'm just a big 212 guy. I don't know if it's like,
hey, make that your thing.
I guess, because I just feel like, and it's not bashing the open guys, I just feel like the 212 guys are like really down to earth, and they're willing to like have conversations with the fans. And like that's like what I'm hungry for, compared to you. Like I'm a very new fan to bodybuilding. Like I just kind of went from watching, Pumping Iron and Jay Cutler's bodybuilding.com.
So you got the Pumping Iron introduction as well.
Yep.
Like a lot of people. A lot of people. You probably watched it when they had the 25th anniversary.
Something, yeah, late 2000s.
I remember buying it, and that's when all the memories came back, because I remember I bought it, and my buddies, we were all working out then a little bit,
right,
and I said, I swear to God, guys, I seen this when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, because I told them, Franco and Arnold and Lou will all be up there on stage, and of course that didn't happen, but
right,
missed memory.
But yeah, when I think it was when it first got released on, it was either Netflix or some sort of promotion. It was probably what you said about the 25th anniversary, like that. That happened. I watched that, and then I watched I can't remember what it's called, Jay Cutler's
Cut Above the Rest.
No, not the workout movies. Like I've never really watched those. I really want to, because like when him and Ronnie were like putting those what do you even call them, workout DVDs out,
right?
Yeah, that was way before my time. I haven't even seen that stuff yet. I think it's called Yates, Bigger by the Day. Blood and Guts, Dorian Yates. Yeah. I've seen that one. All of Kai Green's stuff. Despite how I feel about Kai Green now, Kai Green was. Hear me out. You get every product he's ever put out, I've bought. I was a huge fan. I came into bodybuilding watching all of his movies. I watched all of his videos. Every supplement company he hopped on, like that was my brand.
Right.
Like the philosophy and like how he thought and how he talked. I was like, wow, this is really in depth. And, being like a 19, 20, 21-year-old kid, like kind of getting into it, I was like, okay.
Yeah, he has a following.
Yeah. But now that I've kind of went into the bodybuilding journalism side, I just feel really burnt and disrespected and like betrayed by like just how he's been presenting himself over the last like half decade.
6-7 years.
Yeah, honestly. So
I don't do videos on him anymore.
Yep. Same.
I see desktop, couple of them, is he going to compete again?
Yeah.
He dangling that carrot for too long. You're wasting your fans' time by making videos about that. I'm not going to tease them anymore.
Because at the end of that video, there's no closure. Like they didn't
trying to
learn
keep relevant.
anything.
He's just trying to keep relevant is all he's doing.
Yeah.
He has the body, I mean, but does he have the body to place top 2 nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what happened to Phil? The passing of the guard. All the old guys are coming back.
Yep.
And that bodybuilding needs that to a point, but you should still judge them accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And getting rid of Roden out of the equation, that really helps that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Roden still would have been able to take a lot of these young guys out.
Yep. He'd still be in that top 6. So that would be pushing out people like maybe like an Ian or a Hunter.
Ian and Hunter. That's another discussion.
There's so much videos I got to work on in the next 6 weeks. It's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be brutal. And I am going to the Olympics.
6 or 7 weeks.
Well, 6? I think the Arnold is Arnold's in 5 or 6.
The Arnold is soon.
Yeah, it's coming up.
They may have to rename it to the Universe.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh.
The whole Arnold deal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I didn't even touch on it. I saw it and I was like,
depending on how much momentum, because Arnold doesn't realize he has a lot of haters, and they're just waiting. They were waiting for him to mess up, right?
Yeah. Well, if I'm being honest, I know we're all over the place. That's what timestamps are for. It's got to save the viewers. When I started like digging into bodybuilding and trying to learn more about our sport, and I realized like what Arnold did when he started running for office, like when I saw that and just how like disingenuous he was to our community, that was when I was like, how can you support someone like this? Like just taking all of his artwork down from all the gyms and like just chastising all the IFBB pros. And it's just such I understand why he did it. I just don't agree with it. And that was kind of like the last time I really saw Arnold in a favorable light, which I don't know. It's neither here nor there, I guess.
He's not my favorite bodybuilder.
No.
That's Robbie Robinson on my wall there, not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm couldn't be any happier about that.
Yeah. That the drawing was pretty awesome when I saw you put it up there.
Yeah, my lost talent. My lost talent.
Oh.
I still have nightmares about my old art teacher because he has, long passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was, he'd keep me after class, and
wow.
Why don't you go to art class or art school? You're wasting your talent. Nah, I'm gonna be a wrestler.
You knew that in high school? You wanted to do competitive wrestling? Wow. Let's talk about that, because that's such an interesting thing.
I have old matches when I was a teenager.
Wow.
I could show one day on my wrestling channel that I actually do have.
Ooh.
But I never have time to post.
No. That's how I feel about my personal channel. Like, God, we're all over the place with topics. When I started putting out content on this channel, it resounded with me. It like felt like this is where I belong.
This is bodybuilding news.
Bodybuilding News Network.
News Network. Because I was confused.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that was your other channel.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted to make it as organic as possible,
right.
and just do it, and then just let it grow how it be, and just see how it happens. And it looks like it's going to turn into something really awesome. So that's exciting.
You do a lot of like up to date news and stuff like that, and that's where you get your views.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
especially the shows, during shows, doing like breakdowns. That's huge spikes.
That's where you get your usuals might not be watching, but you get the new customers.
Right.
So you got to please your usuals by doing your usual videos. Like I do my fan request lineups. And no, not everybody likes them. There's going to be bodybuilders from the 70s. Not everybody's going to watch a Phil Hernan video.
Sure.
But after you do, you'll agree that he's fantastic.
I'll have to check those out. I know we're all over the place. I want to know about the Rooster. What's going on with the Rooster?
The Rooster competed and he won.
Okay. Recently?
Yes, Rick Krause.
Rick Krause.
Okay. The Rooster, Rick Krause. He competed a few months back.
Okay.
And he won. So we should do a round 3.
Wow. Versus, I'm out of the loop on the Rooster thing, but I've seen it like pop up on your channel a lot. What's that all about? Is it just his nickname, or?
He competed at the Arnold amateur.
Okay.
A few years back, and I made a video, and I was mean. Mm-hmm. You know, this guy's skinny, shouldn't be up there.
Sure.
I wasn't that mean, but I do.
Right. You break down the physique, be respectful. Like, that's all we can do. Yeah.
But he got a hold of me. He got a hold of me, and I was talking to him. And I believe he sent me some pictures. He sent me some pictures off his Instagram, and they were much more flattering. They were blurry old screenshots anyway that I had, and it didn't do his physique justice whatsoever. And I got some pictures of him, you know, posing at home, because that's what my pictures were, right? You get the exact, no distortion of your physique. And he was quite a bit bigger than me, so I think I might be the chicken in that one.
Yeah.
But I improved a little bit for our matchup.
You did, yeah. Yeah, you definitely.
He also did as well, so because he competed after that, after the whole aspect. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you guys are out of the loop, I'm sure most of the viewers are going to be Marx fans, but he does a lot of breakdowns and comparisons against different athletes, so that's kind of what we're talking about. But I still want to learn more about the wrestling. So you wrestled. Did you do like wrestling in high school, and then you started doing like the theatrical stuff, or how do you call it?
We tried to start a wrestling team in our high school, but there was maybe 2 or 3 of us, and there was no interest. Okay. So we would actually do wrestling tournaments, real wrestling, on the soccer field or what have you. I placed second, one in one of them. I never won the whole thing.
Okay.
But a rather salty 19-year-old kid beat me, and I think I was maybe 17 or something.
Yeah.
But either way, it was fun to, you know, you make it to the. But it was just us, right?
Right.
But we loved pro wrestling, and there was a few younger kids, and I could hear them talking about their wrestling ring, and I loved the fake stuff. You wanted the choreographed, the pre-picked winning,
right.
winner, and I have fully understood the difference. You have to,
right?
Because if you think if you're on the real side and you're looking over, what do these guys think? They're tough. I could kick their butts.
Right.
This is a performance.
Right.
These are for guys that don't necessarily have the killer instinct to want to hurt somebody, right? But they still want to perform. They still want to be athletic. And if some of these guys do go over there to do that, they realize that it's maybe even harder on the body.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff.
But anyway, I found out where the kid lived. And I was maybe 17. They were 15, whatever. And they had a pretty nice little ring set up. And they figured that I was going to come and bully them. And one guy, his name was Shane, grabbed him. He said, "Go ahead, give me a move. Go ahead." Picked him up. Stalling suplex, held him there. Nice flip of the pancake landing. I can remember all the kids were like, awesome. My cousin, who loved wrestling as well, we were doing the real stuff, and he loved The Rock, right? So then he came over. And another friend who was actually a little older came over. So we had a group of guys from 21 to 15, and we were all wrestling in the backyard. We have hours and hours of footage. It looks like we're wrestling in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
So some kids from the city, the city, we were the country kids, right? The country folk. So the kids from the city, they heard about us, and then they came venturing on out to the country in the middle of nowhere. And lo and behold, they got a sponsor from an alcohol company, a beer company, Don't ask me how it happened. They told us about it. And we didn't believe them.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went in, did this big meeting, and these guys had a sponsor from an beer company to build us a ring, start wrestling in bars. So we built the ring, yeah. And the ring sucked. They didn't know how to build the ring.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to tell them how to build the ring, and they wouldn't listen to us. No, we know how to build the ring. What do you want for ropes? Bungee cords? It has to be like a cable.
Yeah.
Bounce off that rope. If you have a bungee cord, like people think, you're going to fall out of the ring, for goodness sakes.
Right.
And they think it's a trampoline, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hardwood with a little bit of padding on it.
Oh.
Otherwise you can't pick anybody up.
Okay.
Has to be. And that fell through because they didn't pay the sponsors. They took off with the money.
Oh.
The two guys there, the shysters.
Yeah.
So about 5 or 6 years later, all of us performers, not all of us, a few of us, we got thinking, we all pitch in, raise some money. We can build our own GD and ring. And that's what we did. We worked for free for the first few shows, whatever, and built our own ring, steel ring, metal ring.
Oh, wow.
With square tubing with 2x4s on top, a little bit of padding.
Okay.
If you watch the matches, you can see it's not a trampoline, obviously.
Right. I never thought it was, but I definitely noticed it had it looked like it had a little bit of give to it. It's
20 feet, metal pipes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, there's a lot of give on it. It's metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've wrestled in an old-fashioned ring. Emile Dupree, French wrestler.
Okay.
He trained from where we were from. I went up and trained with him. A wooden ring, wooden beams.
Harder?
Oh, aches and pains you wouldn't believe. Actually, Andre the Giant, Ric Flair, bunch of them were supposedly in that same ring.
Wow.
Emile Dupree that I was in rolling around, and obviously them guys weren't in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of us clowns.
Cool to think, though. You were in the same room.
Yeah. Well, no, it was outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had his ring set up outside. Yeah. In Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
He had his own territory. There was territories all around Canada. Right.
Okay. I think I've heard about that a little bit with I think I was watching the Undertaker's interview on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how there was regional places where people with the different organizations.
Grand Prix, I believe. Grand Prix Wrestling.
Okay.
And they had their own stable.
Mm-hmm.
But then they would hire AWA guys from down Mid-South.
Mm-hmm.
They would hire their champions to come wrestle in their organization for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you'd have champion versus champion matches. And the wrestling worked that way until Vincent McMahon from New York decided that it would be a good idea to give everybody contracts and exclusive to his federation.
Yeah.
And they went into other territories, set up camp, and wrestled in their territories. So Vince could have got hung. He could have got hung at that point. But obviously that's what all the federations started to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-South and things, WCW. They started to release videotapes, right?
For what?
They started to release videotapes. And that changed.
Oh, for the pay-per-views or? Well, their version?
They would do house shows, and they would record.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
They would record one match, right?
Right.
Or the good match, and they'd get 5 or 6 really good matches, and they'd release a videotape. Best of WWF, right?
Yep.
So that changed the world.
Right. Yeah. The rewatch value.
Exactly.
Wow. And where did you fit into all of that?
We actually were at a point, late 90s, the territory thing was dead. A few of them still, Calgary Stampede kind of stayed alive. But we had our own federation because the regular, the Emile Dupree, his, what was it, Grand Prix, those guys were done. They were dead. You know, they were old, gone, buried. So there was no wrestling around here.
Okay.
So we started a federation called XWA, Extreme, and that was the thing. The sport, the takedown aspect, the real wrestling was out of it. Nobody missed it.
It was all just choreography and
I hate to say it, but 90% of the guys that I wrestled with were smashing chairs over each other's heads. Light bulbs.
Oh, like
cheese
ECW and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I remember when that like made its resurface. Probably, I don't know, like late 2000s. When I was a kid, I was watching it.
I honestly haven't watched wrestling since early 2000s. I was still performing in the ring, and I didn't know any of the guys on TV.
Yeah.
Since Eddie Guerrero and the Chris Benoit, all that stuff.
Yeah.
John Cena.
Yep.
I don't got nothing against John Cena or The Rock. I just prefer to watch technical wrestling.
Right. I couldn't tell you when I stopped watching. I think it's just with all good things, it just comes to an end, and you know, you start getting a little older. And I think probably by the time I was like a freshman or a junior in high school, or sophomore, started. I think I started getting into more sports, a lot of video games, Call of Duty and stuff, and did a lot of that stuff.
Right. Can you just hold on 1 second? I actually have somebody knocking at my door.
Hey, good. I'll keep eating.
All right, perfect. And we are back.
Yes, and I'm not eating.
What's on the menu today?
Chicken with sazon and white rice with turmeric. So I'm trying to get that in about 3 times a day for I think the next 2 weeks, and then we'll start cutting back on the carbs. 12 weeks out from my show. So I'm kind of stressed because I'm still very big. So we'll see how it looks.
Well, you got to know how you feel, right?
Right. Well,
you've been at this point before.
Yeah.
And you know how long it takes to get to where you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the time?
I'm definitely behind, but if I average like 2 pounds a week right now and then start adding in like real structured cardio, like getting up to like the 30, 40, 50 minutes of stairs.
That's just it. That's just it. Then you don't really have to worry about the weight.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was worried about when we were doing our competition. Because last year, I was 138 when I started my lowest. And I had pictures of it. Obviously, I look bigger than 138. But this year, it's a little tighter, I thought, 143.
Wow.
But my waist might have been a little wider. I don't know. I got a small waist, so.
That's what I want. I want a tiny waist. I got the legs, like the quad sweep. I just need to get that midsection really cinched in. The lats are growing, which is really cool this season. I've kind of learned how to target them when I'm squeezing.
Right.
So that's been fun.
Got a lot of help from Ty Jordan as well.
Yeah. Oh, for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's helped me with my posing.
Good. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He's doing my diet for this show. So
awesome.
Pretty excited to see what we can do for my NPC debut.
Hey, man, you never know. You never know.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we're still kind of in that time where not everyone's competing, so you never really know who's going to show up.
Right.
And I think if I just have the right proportions and conditioning, I could beat out some of those smaller, like those shorter, bigger guys that are, enhanced. So that's kind of like my only worry is I'm going to look stringy, but we'll see. We're going to have fun.
Did you feel that way last time you competed?
I've only competed in natural organizations. So like I was always the tallest guy on stage.
So your opponent. So this time you're not competing in a natural show.
No, I'm doing an NPC, a national qualifier.
So you're going into a gunfight with a knife.
Yeah. Yep. For now.
Hey.
For now.
Hey, I always say, compete once natural. See where you stand.
I enjoyed it.
Then if it's the same judges, they see you enhanced. Whoa. Right? Whereas everybody else made slight improvements. If I was a judge and I seen that,
right.
Number 7, go to the middle.
Yep. We want to take a good look at this guy.
Joshua Sanch, right to the center. Switch over with him. Get the endorphins going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. I've never with the national organizations, at least the shows I did, they didn't move people around a lot. They didn't there was like no moving. So it was kind of a stale. Like I was always on the outside. And then for the awards ceremony, I got third. I'm like, how are you supposed to compare me to the other guys if I was literally out of 9 guys, I was all the way at the end and I had to tilt inwards. I'm like,
how would that be? That's strange.
Yeah.
That's strange.
I don't know. It's I have no ill intent towards that organization, but I think 4 months ago, something like that, at the pro league within that organization, a good friend of mine was competing, and for some reason, like he wasn't able to get on stage. They put him in a different room for quarantine reasons. Like they had everyone in different areas, and then like they just didn't come and get him. So
poor guy.
Yeah. And he's placed I think top 3 at NPC shows. Right. So it's like, I guess he doesn't really need to waste his time in the natural federations then.
No.
Yeah. But yes, exactly. That's kind of, I'm really excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see where my career goes. I didn't even think I was going to have a bodybuilding career. I was just like, I just lift get the rush in the gym and just have fun. And then I started seeing things change. I'm like, And,
you never know where it can go.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. Got to do a little bit more research and find the right sponsors and figure out where this can go. But in the meantime, I could have fun talking to you guys, you and the athletes. And I don't know if I can get other promoters on, but we'll see.
Well, once they see that a celebrity of my stature
for real
is on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll have the bone axe.
For real, yeah. I'll be taking over Xavier's job with getting William Bonac and all those guys on the show.
That's dry humor. That's dry humor. You like my tail?
I do. What's that one from? Is that just
Lee Priest? You like my tail?
Oh yeah. I was wondering about the animal, but
he's always got toys around.
Oh, Lee, yeah, he's a character.
Masks, things of that nature.
Yeah, I was watching for quite a while. I watched like every episode that they had Lee Priest and Dave and all those guys.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you between like Marx Muscle and Xavier, Nick, Ivan.
They keep popping up.
Yeah. I mean, they pop up, but like, I can't tell you the last time I've clicked on them. It's just like, if I see something, I'll see a thumbnail, I'll be like, oh, okay, Chris Bumstead posted something. And I'll go take a look at it. I'm like, okay, that was nothing. Saved me 14 minutes.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
But anyway, my man, I actually got a friend of mine waiting.
Oh, cool.
And I don't want to be rude to him, and I don't want to be rude to you as well.
Oh, you're good. I think we've been on here for 40 minutes. So.
Yeah. I told him I'd be done at 3:30, so he came over. So, but we could continue the interview at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to
if
see
you junk it up or whatever, get some interesting points or.
I'll take some notes of this episode, and then I'll have some good hard hitting questions, some Generation Iron level questions for you in the next one.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, man. Is there anything you wanted to plug before we finish this one up?
Watch my latest video.
Yeah, you're like, nope, just watch my content. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. If you hear me starting to sing, hit mute.
I'll look for that in the next one.
Yeah. All right, my man. Peace out.
Man. Yeah, have a good one, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.